Race war. Whose team are you on? Black people or white people?
Is there a race war? Did I miss it?
The white people. 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 The white people.
Like, why you don't love us? That's the question we want to ask police. Why you don't love us?
Then stabbed the girl once in the chest before running away with a group of people.
Pretty much ends the violence at that moment. But look at just how disgusting this is to watch. The looting has got...
Shows a man walking up 3rd Avenue, suddenly shoving a 92-year-old woman. She loses her balance, falling to the ground, hitting her head on a fire hydrant.
To small publishers, to stop them publishing, the US has lost its way. It has abrogated its founding traditions. It has thrown the First Amendment in the bin because publishers must be free to publish.
I mean, why do I need to prove my anti-racist bona fides? It seems wrong.
It's someone else's turn to eat.
I don't want to say we need to go start killing all white folks, but it's like,
But
maybe. I don't want to say we need to go start killing all white folks, but it's like,
but
maybe.
In the past month alone, there have been 53 mass shootings nationwide, and that's defined as incidents where 4 or more people were shot. That number includes those high-profile massacres at 3 Asian spas in Atlanta and at a supermarket in Boulder, Colorado.
You're not going to know that the police officers, and we're going to see if somebody is going to look to harm somebody through hate.
They reviewed more than 74,000 pieces of evidence, including documents, emails, texts, audio files, and pictures. But none of this would have been illuminated if not for the heroic women who came forward. And I am inspired by all the brave women who came forward. But more importantly, I believe them.
Governor Cuomo is now facing the prospect of arrest.
Pennsylvania died in her hotel room down in South Beach. She traveled from Pennsylvania all by herself just to have some fun in the sun. Well, these are the 2 suspects who could soon be charged with her murder.
There were all these rumors that CBS was after Oprah to be on the show.
Andy, you know that's not true.
Right.
Doesn't the Queen get to do what the Queen wants to do?
I want to clarify, when you say you were surprised about the skin tone conversation, were you surprised that that would be true inside the palace, or were you surprised they were telling you about it?
He was shot multiple times in the chest, in the left arm, the left leg, and we're told that there was a dispute leading up to this. We're not sure how that all came to be. That 15-year-old now fighting for his life at St. Barnabas Hospital, and police are looking for 2 men between the ages 15 and 20 connected to the shooting.
Can't hurt my feelings, but I like pain. Fuck me and ask who's this.
And racism always have existed, but I feel like right now there's just a lot of tension, and we need somebody to clean that.
The white people. The white people. The white people. How to put that in the script somewhere? Like, just the idea of us respecting ourselves is disrespectful to white people. If 2 black people killed a police officer, they would instantly become heroes.
Yeah.
The white people. The white people. The white people. How to put that in the script somewhere?
I think that's a huge problem. The people who are attempting to pass policy to banish it out of the public square,
are simply afraid of a fair and just accounting of American history.
When you accuse my son of stealing your raggedy ass bike parts when you drive a car.
And you literally can't talk to them.
They gonna burn this bitch to the ground, okay?
White people, white people, white people.
Mins, along with 2 of his relatives, are facing robbery and gang assault charges.
White people, white people.
Gonzalez's actions are part of a movement in New York to decriminalize sex work.
An update now on an unprovoked brick attack in Manhattan. The victim, Lisa Kavanaugh, works at Governor Cuomo's New York City office. The 51-year-old was walking on 48th Street and 3rd Avenue on Thursday afternoon when police say a man came up from behind and hit her in the head with a brick.
Did not.
Interesting choice of hat, by the way.
Yeah.
On the tape, you can hear Keon Sr. saying, you know, do the iPhone feature. Do the iPhone, find my iPhone feature. Yeah. It would have solved it just right then and there.
Over there, what's on your background? You better go use find my iPhone. Go do that.
Find my iPhone is on.
You
On that right
No, you can't. No.
The white people, the white people.
Mind you, you should just mind your damn business.
I'm talking to somebody and you
I could give a damn. You talk to my wife like that. I don't like that shit.
Talk to your wife like what?
You talk to my wife like, oh, I'm sorry, that's disgusting. Mind you ain't mind your damn
No.
business.
I said,
put my foot up there all the damn morning. You got a problem with that?
The white people, the white people.
His family has him in therapy, and you know, they're both still traumatized too, still reeling.
Even when I was there, my words weren't good enough.
No, you can't. No.
I'm the manager of the hotel.
I don't care.
She insisted that she's not racial profiling. She has an explanation about that. And, you know, it was reported that an Uber driver returned the phone. She says that's not true. So she wanted to make an apology, but as I said to her in the interview, I'm not sure you're helping yourself here. Do the iPhone, find my iPhone feature. Yeah. It would have solved it just right then and there. And she's right, it could have been de-escalated, you know.
This is my phone.
Show me, no.
You don't have to explain nothing to her.
Take your face off, that's mine. Literally, get it back, please.
Are you kidding me? You feel like there's only one iPhone made in the world?
No.
Well, the point is, he didn't have her phone.
No, he did not.
And?
He did not.
Interesting choice of hat, by the way.
Yeah.
This is why they're bullies. For all he knows, she's homeless. She didn't have a shower. Her hair is greasy, so the hat's not as bad as that. Or, I mean, he doesn't know. And you're talking about a giant corporation bullying this girl who, there may be a prior relationship between these people that the daddy doesn't want anyone to know about.
Okay, then show me the.
No, you get a life.
Over there, what's on your background?
You better go use find my iPhone. Go do that. No.
I'm the manager of the hotel.
I don't care.
He will,
this is
right
my
now.
son. Hey, didn't you see me just come downstairs out of the fucking elevator?
I'm trying to help.
No, but you're not helping.
I
what
am.
you've been is disrespectful.
No, I'm trying.
Been is disrespectful.
No, I'm trying to settle the situation.
My son has nothing to do with her.
The video footage is pretty clear.
No, I'm trying to settle the situation.
My son has nothing to do with her.
No.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on in the lobby.
It's interesting you would point out the hat because
No.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on in the lobby.
Sharon said, you know, you might want to remove that hat.
Yeah.
And she refused to do that too. So it was an interesting afternoon.
My son has nothing to do with her.
No.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on in the lobby.
His family has him in therapy, and you know, they're both still traumatized too, still reeling from.
I'm still in shock, Gail. I'm still in shock at this point. My son and I are still in shock at this.
Are you still in shock?
Nightmare of a scenario.
But Ben Crump represents him and was saying, you know, they hope that the charges, it will send a message that
You're not going to know that the police officers, and we're going to see if somebody is going to look to harm somebody through hate.
So it was interesting that right after that interview, that she was stopped and then arrested.
has died of the illness. 34-year-old Dr. Li Wenliang was threatened by the government after voicing concerns.
We understand when we're being singled out for one reason and one reason only, and that is the color of our skin.
Prosecutors say he also offered to tell Chinese officials about internal NYPD workings. The Chinese consulate did not respond to.
Co-worker found brutally murdered inside a Lululemon store. 331 injuries. The killer's shocking and twisted scheme to deceive.
A bold move by the NYPD to combat anti-Asian attacks. The department is adding what it calls a robust number of undercover officers in the city's Chinatown neighborhoods.
Asian American undercover officers will hit the streets across New York City.
The next person you target, whether it's through speech. He's a communist China?
Oh, isn't that where you're from? She's been identified as Maura Moynihan, the daughter of the late Senator Patrick Moynihan, who the new train hall at Penn Station is named after.
So notice how they're now targeting the name of the train station as if they want protests there. And they're comparing, saying go back to communist China with someone getting beaten up in the subway.
While incidents ranging from slurs to violence gain more attention, it only begins to capture the full reality Asian communities have endured, especially during the last year, as a majority of incidents.
Menacing activity or anything else? Walking along a sidewalk or on a train platform? Maybe a plainclothes New York City police officer.
2 new detectives joining the NYPD's Asian Hate Crimes Task Force, bringing the total to 18.
We speak the language. We try to make the victim comfortable to tell us the full story.
You can now email investigators directly.
At one point, most of the new emojis are dedicated to different skin tones. For the couple with the heart emoji and the kiss emoji, those updates could hit your phone as early as January. They said they're working on skin tones to reflect interracial couples. They haven't done that before, so I think that's a really great idea.
Concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What?
Please. Nobody said that.
You are going to focus on the looting, which, by the way, white people are looting too. We need to see those images. I'm sick of just seeing black people walking around looting. White people are looting too.
And it was reported that an Uber driver returned the phone. She says that's not true. So she's.
But the point is, he didn't have her phone.
No, he did not.
And
he did not.
Interesting choice of hat, by the way.
Yeah.
And at the time, I said, have NYPD been in touch with you? They had not. So it was interesting that right after that interview, that she was stopped and then arrested.
Well, she said she didn't understand why it's a crime. Well, she might learn now.
Yeah. That's not okay.
I got to ask you about what's going on your show. Two things. First of all, there were all these rumors that CBS was after Oprah to be on the show.
The family is speaking out at the site in Brooklyn where their daughter was shot and killed. Now, it happened while she attended a vigil for a friend who was killed the night before. Police are still searching for those responsible. Violence in New York City, this time at a Queens mall. The NYPD says a 37-year-old man was shot in the leg during a robbery.
And as if the police aren't already overburdened, CBS has the Gayle treatment, really the Oprah treatment, with music in the background over a woman going a little crazy because she lost her iPhone and the father egging her on.
More protests in the city are expected today. There are calls on social media for a MAGA march to convene in Midtown later this morning. A counter-protest is expected to gather around the same time.
There's also even a press conference, Jamie, later today where they're calling for charges of assault and battery of the family.
Promote it,
and so far
Jerica.
they started a petition. They're looking for
The woman caught on camera physically attacking a black teenager and falsely accusing him of stealing her cell phone has been arrested in California. It happened last night just because this woman, who appeared to be a white woman, she's now saying she's Puerto Rican.
On CBS this morning, Gail talks to the white woman.
I'm a woman. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm like a woman of color.
That becomes the priority to the point where they pressure NYPD to fly across the country to arrest her and then play dumb afterwards as if it was a coincidence. This is chilling stuff.
With two other men with guns, police say the suspects opened the victim's passenger door and then shot him before taking his wallet.
Well, she said she didn't understand
After
why
10
it's a
o'clock.
crime. Well, she might learn now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
There were all these rumors that CBS was after Oprah to be on the show.
Andy, you know that's not true.
Right.
Give black people their rights, or we will burn this country to ashes.
If we're talking about creating threats to small publishers to stop them publishing, the US has lost its way. It has abrogated its founding traditions. It has thrown the First Amendment in the bin because publishers must be free to publish.
She said the young man just walked up to the little boy who was sitting on his bike. I just don't understand why he did it. How can you walk up to a little boy point blank and put a gun to his head and just shoot him? How can anyone do that? Wilson PD and members of the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force arrested Darius Simmons. He's charged with the murder of 5-year-old Cannon Hinnant.
I don't want to say we need to go start killing all white folks, but it's like, but maybe.
Thank you, George Floyd.